Good morning, and welcome to Ray's Crafty Corner podcast. I am your host. I am Ray / Rachel, whichever, and you can find me on the interwebs as Ray Louise May on Ravelry, as R-A-Y Louise M-A-Y, and on Instagram as Ray Reads a Lot, because I do also. But those links I shall put down in the doobly-doo. So hi, yes, this is episode 4 of my knitting podcast, which is kind of crazy, and it's the 25th of February. That's kind of crazy, because that means in 2 days I'm going down to France, so that's excellent. Yeah, I have to be in France by Saturday for a start of a residential language course as part of my Open University module, which is super because it means I have to go down on Friday, and that's gonna be about like 9 odd hours of train journeys. Oh dear, on my own. So that's going to be fun. I mean, it's not like I haven't gone to France on my own before. I once got a train down to Southampton, got on a plane to France by myself. So it's not completely new, but it's just vaguely stressy this time. So yes, hi, welcome back to any returning viewers, and thank you if you are new and checking out my podcast. I apologise for my slightly casual attire this morning. It's I am not long out of bed because I kind of have a really broken sleep schedule in the fact that I was up at like sort of between like about 7:30ish yesterday to go because I had to go into my mum's office and help her with some stuff, and then this morning I don't get up, and then when I'm not having to be somewhere I just like get up at like 10 o'clock. It's a strange thing. I don't quite get it. So yes, my hair is not quite right yet, so it's stuffed under my hat for your own safety. But yes, I'm filming slightly at a different angle today because mostly it's JB's fault. JB dared me to podcast in front of this wallpaper, and it's like I've compromised slightly. I've still got my bookcase here because I think in front of that entirely I'm gonna go blind. Y'all are gonna go blind, and that's just not fair. So yes, JB, 2/3 wallpaper. Is that good? Yes. Yeah, me and JB spent about like 4 hours on a sort of weekend. I think it was last Friday or something. It was like sort of 1 o'clock for her, and then it was about 6 o'clock for me. And basically about 10:30, I actually got off the computer. So that was I was trying to do some work at the same time. I was like, yeah, I can't focus on this right now. So there's some knitting, lots of chatting about Marvel characters. So that was good. Yes, I'm trying to think. I have like no notes this morning. I've literally just like, okay, grab all my stuff and sat down in front of the camera. Tea. Although my mug smells like the cupboard. It smells like the cupboard it's in, which is not quite. It smells a bit damp. I don't like it. Okay, let's put the tea down. Oh no. Problem is now, from where I am, I'm just out of my arm reach for the desk, so it's like trying to get my mug back somewhere. There's from where I'm sat here, because my window's here, the light's kind of hitting this side of my face, so this side just looks like dark and skull-like, and you can see how tired I am, which is ridiculous since I've slept for like 10 hours. But yes, there is no FOs this week. In terms of knitting, yeah, let's get on to some knitting, shall I? That'll be a good idea. Yes, there is no FOs because I've been working on one project and one project only, and you people who follow me on Instagram might know which one that is because I post a picture of it about every day, and that is yes. So now, very quickly moving on to works in progress because that's all I have. We have my Boneyard Shawl, and I have now got the second ball of yarn attached to it. I basically spent a good... I was watching several podcasts while I did this, but I busily wrapping up my second ball because it's not a centre pull, So basically I have to take it from the outside, and then eventually, obviously, the further in you get, the more it just disintegrates into a pile of like stringy mess. So I thought, right, we'll stop it straight away and we'll get it into a ball before I even attach it. So yes, and this is my James C. Brett double knitting with merino. So it's got all of 10% of it's 70% acrylic, 20% nylon, and 10% merino wool, which is still still quite soft. When I sort of picked it up, I was like, ooh, soft. And I'm in love with the colour, although currently with the light I don't think you can really see it properly, maybe. But it's basically sort of like a purpley, and it's got like sort of flecks of blue and red, there's just like little bits of, like there's like little flecks of red fluff in the middle of the spin, which is very cool. But yes, I'm loving this project so much. So much. Right, but now it's getting to that stage where it is so big, trying to actually stretch it out. I genuinely might have to like get a if I manage to keep this all on needles, like to actually finish it, it is going to be a miracle, because it is so big now, it won't fully stretch out, and so that's where I attached the new ball. I sort of was quite pleased with how I managed to do it, because it sort of managed to hide because I held the ends of the end of the first ball and the end of the new ball, and as well as like the working end, and sort of did the last 4 stitches of the row like that. And there's a couple of slightly fatter stitches, but then it's sort of mostly hidden on the back side, which I'm really quite chuffed with, since I didn't want to knot it, because that would stand out like quite a lot on on stockinette like this. Oh my god, look at it! This is my Boneyard Shawl. Forgot how to English a bit there. But yes, I'm now like, how many repeats am I done? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I've done, yeah. I'm about 124 rows of this now, and it is like so big compared to my thingy kerchief. It kind of dwarfs that. Look at it. Because I mean, just imagine this is going to be so big. Because this will be like round my neck. It's going to be so awesome. And I mean, considering how much yarn I've still got left, it's going to be fun. But yes, so this is the Boneyard Shawl by Stephen West, and I actually printed off the pattern yesterday, because while I was at my mum's office, I printed off a load of stuff, like my like printed versions of my my Eurostar tickets, because that's good to have, and other things. But I also printed off several patterns, and printed off the Boneyard Shawl, so I had it with me at least, so I could take it, because I'm going to be taking this to France to like knit while I'm on the trains. So I shall hopefully have some fun knitting in public times. I did actually spend like a good while just like reading. There's like a thread somewhere about sort of knitting in public encounters on Ravelry, and I just spent ages just reading through it, because it was just like, some of them were so lovely. There was one of them which was just literally like, oh my god, that's the most adorable thing ever, and it just makes me want to cry. But yes, I did that, and yeah, hold on, let's grab the pattern. Yes, so that's the Boneyard Shawl pattern. It's a free pattern on Ravelry. I currently do not have the funds to be paying for patterns, but yeah, mine's gonna be slightly shorter than what, and he's said he used a 5mm needle. I'm using a 4.5, because that's what I've got. I now do have a 5mm needle, but I'm using it for something. I will be using it for something else. But yeah, I'm kind of mostly keeping it just to actually. So I have the border. So I've got the border row section. Not that it's very difficult. It's basically just the normal knit row, and then just knit all of the other stitches and carry on like that. But I printed off a few other patterns as well. Yeah, basically most of this video is going to be stash. It's going to be flashy the stashy and stuff. It's like, look at old stash. Because just after finishing last week's video, I went out and I kind of bought some more yarn. And then yesterday, a very lovely parcel arrived that I'd sneakily ordered. I kind of ordered it without my my boyfriend knowing, so that's like, yeah. But I have also these patterns I shall show you after I've shown you the yarn, because then it'll all make sense. Right, so good. Try and pop them down there. Hope they don't fall out my chair. Right, okay. Let us do first the stuff I got. Let's go for the pretty stuff. Do you want to go to the pretty stuff? I have pretty stuff, and this makes me very happy. But basically, I did another order with Wool Warehouse because of reasons, and I bought several things because I basically bought enough stuff to get the free shipping of £25, which means one of these things was kind of like, oh my god, quite expensive. But I bought some new needle things. I bought this Drops 2.5 60cm circular needle, which when I got it, I was like, this is perhaps not going to be as useful as I want it to be, because because look at the size of those just look huge. So it's like, possible to still use, but yeah, I don't quite know what I'm going to do with these, if they are going to be of any use at all. So yes. I love that these are technically Knit Pro, actually, because it says on here Knit Pro 2.5mm 60cm, but then they come from Drops, which confuse. So yes. So I have that, which I don't know if I probably should have got like an 80cm or a 100cm thing. I can't remember from looking at it. Did I choose an 80? I can't remember. But I have that, and I also have 3 sets of DPNs in 3mm, 2.25 and 2.5. I probably should have got a 2mm instead of 3mm, but we'll see. We'll see how things go. And then I did post a picture of these on Instagram, so if you follow me on Instagram, you will have seen it. Got at least a vague shot of these already. But what I have is some Rico designed Superba Poems yarn in, I think it's a colourway, I don't know if it's, because I can't read German, I don't know if the Farb or the Party bit is, maybe Farb is the colour, I don't know, but it's 005, and basically this is 75% virgin wool and 25% polyamide or nylon, but basically it is a fingering weight, although it is pretty hella skinny. Some bits it's like, holy crap, that's quite thin. It's like, that is but then I kind of really bought it for that. All of the pretties, the sort of gorgeous looking colours in there. And I mean, the outside doesn't feel very soft, but whether on like kind of washing or whatever, it's going to feel softer. But just look at that gradient just looks beautiful. It's so beautiful. And there's like sort of different, because of how the yarn's been plied, there's like sort of dark strands in with like the light green and stuff. So I have that, which is going to be very interesting. I don't know whether to try and knit with this first, or if I try to knit with my other thing first, but we shall see. So I'll put it there. And the other thing, which doesn't look as pretty as when I got it, because I sort of like kind of raveled the hank of it, and I don't have the skills yet to sort of put it back nicely. Oh my god, you can't sort of, the colours are kind of totally sort of washed out. They're really sort of kind of rich, and it's a teal. It's basically it's Cascade yarns, heritage paints, hand painted, which meant all of the money, in their sort of teal colourway, and yeah, it's just not showing you at all anything. It just looks kind of blues, but there's like about 3 or 4 different shades of blue, and then it's like 4 or 5, there could be like 5, 6 colours of like shades of blue and green in here, and then sort of bits of almost white, and it's just glorious, and it's so squidgy, and oh my god, it's amazing. And it is 100 grams, 437 yards, 400 metres, and it's made in Peru, and it's 75% superwash merino wool and 25% nylon, so yeah, and it's just like squeech, 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 squeech. I was just, it's so pretty, and it's just, but look, it's just falling apart. I can't actually deal with this. Look at this. And where do you belong? It's still not showing you the colours at all. It's just looking all blue. Trust me, there's a lot more green in here, and it's like, at some point I'm gonna have to just wind. I'm tempted just to wind it or something, just to sort of wind it to like sort of 2 cakes, or 2 balls, and just deal with it like that, because this is driving me insane already. And I've only had it like half a day, but it's just it's so cool. And so now this is potentially the stupidest idea I've ever had, because I'm now kind of going to be imprisoned by my yarn. Right, okay. Let's give that a few more turns. Now you turn the other way. Do excuse, I don't have this skill down yet. Yeah, let's leave it like that. Let's leave it like that. That's close enough to me. That's close enough. We can leave it at that. So I'm going to put this in the bag so I don't knock it out of shape. But yes, I am so happy with those. I was kind of looking on Ravelry yesterday about sort of like what all the like patterns people have done with this superb yarn. I was thinking, looks very sort of thin, and I was like, I don't want everything to break. But some of the sort of notes on patterns about people have done about the fact that it's very splitty, and like there's knots and things, and it's like the spin is like thick and thin, so it's like but that ball didn't cost me as much as the other one, so it's like the other one looks like it's very good quality, so I'm kind of happy with those, and I can't wait to knit with them. But as you may have guessed by this lot and that lot, I am planning to try and knit some socks. The day has come where I'm planning to knit socks. Oh my god. But yes, I printed off 2 sock patterns. Whether I'll actually use either of them, or just whether I'll try and like blag my way through just straight stockinette socks and then see what I can do. But I printed off the Vanilla Latte sock pattern, which is a free pattern, and that's got all of its pattern and stuff in there, so I have that. And I also printed off Hermione's Everyday Socks, because I'm all about Harry Potter, and anything sort of Harry Potter related I'm totally down for. So yeah, I have that, although I have a feeling it's probably not best to try and do this pattern for my my first thing, because yeah, I think it's probably a little bit too complicated for me straight away, so I'm tempted just to look at if I can find a straight stockinette sock that's just ribbing, stockinette, heel, whether I'll try and do like just like an afterthought heel or something, then I can then just knit most of it all just in a straight tube and then do the heel later. And if it's just basically another little toe, and then we can try that. And then, because then that might be slightly easier than trying to do anything crazy complicated. I don't know. Oh, yeah. Excuse me. Oh, tea time. Nah. You can probably hear now like low buzzing, or rumbling, which is my boiler, because my boiler is just right around there. Oh, it's better temperature now. But yes, though that is my sock yarn, which I'm so pleased with. It's just, I mean, I don't know how this the Rico's gonna knit, because some people it has that feeling like it could be scratchy on my fingers and knitting, but then it does look like the colour gradient is going to be gorgeous. So I don't know, we'll have to see. But then the other bits, these are the stuff that I got last week after my after I filmed my podcast. I went out and bought yarn because I have a problem. Right, we're going to try the safe thing of resting this on my foot, which is kind of in my lap. I've got my feet crossed on my desk chair here. But yes, I went tootling into town and went into our sort of Wilkinson's that's in town. It's basically like a slightly bargain home stuff, other things. You can get bits of food and get. It's kind of like it's like a strange kind of mini Tesco almost, in the fact that you can get like sort of like cosmetic stuff, garden stuff, home linens, like crockery, like cleaning stuff, you name it. There's probably some bits of it there, but it's not like a massive range of stuff, and it's kind of cheap. But they have they have like a teeny tiny knitting and sewing section, which has got various bits and bobs in that. In the yarn that I got for my, basically most of the yarn you'll have seen previously, barring the stuff that I used to make my kerchief, was bought from there. So it's all kind of mostly 100% acrylic, although actually some of these do have wool in. But yes, I have been eyeing up some stuff in there for weeks and just going, I want to try it. No, don't throw your needles into your tea, Rachel. Oh, that is LeBoy saying hello. I shall have to look at you soon, not right now, because if I click off this video it'll stop and then we'll have crying. But yes, I have been eyeing up this massive ball of Tweed Aran yarn, which is like it's like a 75-25. Oh, actually, it's a 72% acrylic, 25% wool, 3% viscous, and it is a 200-gram ball. And I don't know off the top of my head what yardage it is, because Stupid Yarn Fair, which is the company that makes these, doesn't actually put a meterage on the ball. It gives washing instructions, it gives like a sort of tension, and then it doesn't actually say how much is in this ball, so that's really not helpful. But I have 1, 2, 3, and these are all of the same dye lot. There was one more that wasn't the same dye lot, so it's like I didn't buy that. But then luckily when I got home I realised, I've found from looking on Ravelry, that this should give me more than enough yardage for what I want to do with it. So I'm going to put these back into here. It's like just a cream tweedy colour, which I mean, I don't wear a whole lot of cream stuff, but I'm quite intrigued by it. And it doesn't feel too rough. It's because I think where the wool is quite snuggly. And also these like a bales of yarn almost. So I'm going to put these in here. I've currently got them stored in this here tote bag. This is one of my book related tote bags related to the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J Maas. So it's got Selena and Kale, Dorian and Nehemia. I won this, and it's like got that. It's got sort of Crown Midnight thing on the back. But yeah, I won that in a Twitter competition, which was really awesome. But then also while I was in there to knit with that, I bought this other circular needle, which very conveniently happened to be in there. It's basically 80 centimetre 5 mil needles, because Aran weight yarn obviously needs a slightly thicker needle, and hopefully that should be sufficient to, I don't know, like, should knit round my middle. I think that's, yeah, I think that'll work. But then I've also just put into like the bag with stuff my 4 mil needle to do smaller bits, which I shall mention in a moment. Potato. No, I'm sorry. That's something me and my boyfriend do just weirdly. You know, from like 2 Towers, where Samwise Gamgee's all like potatoes, boil and mash and stick them in stew kind of thing. We have this weird song thing we do between us. We're odd like that. But yes, basically what I'm planning on knitting that with is the flax jumper, which I know Sarah of the Canadian Knitter podcast is knitting at the moment, and I have to kind of mention this, like, but thank you, Sarah, thank you. I saw my subscriptions yesterday and I'm like, I was literally making that face because I watch your podcast, and then it's like, you're in my subscribers. Oh my god. But yes, I have. I'm going to be attempting the flax jumper. Don't know when I'm going to start it yet. I feel like I should start it soon because by the time I come back from France, I will have finished that my shawl, and I'll need a big thing to do. So I've got that, which I've been wanting to try like sort of jumper that doesn't involve like doing bits of pieces and stuff. So hopefully nice simple raglan top down jumper that's doesn't have, by the sounds of it, like sort of shaping in the waist and stuff. It's just gonna be like should be really cool, and it's got sort of the garter stitch panel thing down this sort of sleeve looks like it's gonna be really cool sort of detail. So I've got to sort of go through and figure out which sizing I want to do, and then like kind of highlight up the bits that I want to do, and have a crack at that. So that could basically, by the time I get through all of that, I will probably be like back into water maybe, and it'll be like, it'll be a birthday present to myself. So yes, that is what I'm planning to do with my other new bit of stash. I'm kind of trying to be like good in the way that I don't just willy-nilly buy loads of stash and then have loads sitting around that I'm not using, because then that's when boyfriend's going to get really mardy with me, and I don't want that. Because otherwise it'd be like, there's books lying around that I'm not reading, and it's like, there's yarn lying around that you're not using. It's like, so I'm trying to kind of like buy stuff and then have something in mind for it, and then try and do that fairly quickly. And also then I think if I keep sort of providing myself with projects, I won't then sort of drift off and stop doing it, which is not great. But I actually better show you the very last thing that I have, although it's going to completely overset my balance, so I'm going to hold the tea out here to sort of counterbalance. I shall only show you half of it because it's huge. I have this here, which, as you might guess, is Kitty's foam playmats, like sort of interlocking ones. And basically, I went into Home Bargains, which is another kind of like Wilkinson like shop, where they have loads of stuff. They don't have any knitting stuff, which is very sad. But I saw this, and it's like, it has got numbers, and these numbers will probably come out. But there is basically about 10 or so sheets of numbers in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, there's 10 sheets of numbers, and there's 2 on each side, so there's 20 like squares in here. So that, ooh, God, I've knocked over the bag. Stop that. So I've got 20 squares that basically I can use as blocking mats, and since they're interlocking, I can basically arrange them in a whole host of however I want to lay stuff out. Admittedly, the floor, it's going to be the floor space that's going to be the issue, because in here there's a reasonable amount of floor space when I'm not sat in the middle with it, with everything scattered around me. So yes, I have those, although they did cost me like a tenner, which is a little bit much for play mats, but what you gonna do? So now I have those. I at some point should actually block some of the stuff I have. I need to block my kerchief, I need to block my my sister's scarf. And speaking of my sister's scarf, I need to like actually knit her like hat mittens thing. I could probably try and knit her the mittens using like my those 3mm DPNs, because that might then give a sort of quite a dense fabric for mitten things, which will be warm, although it's acrylic, so might be awful. I don't know. So yes, I'm trying to think now about other things that I wanted to talk about. I don't know. I have no idea. Maybe this will be good to be a shorter episode, since I'm not going, because there won't be an episode next week because I'll be obviously in France. But hopefully, I'm really hoping that the place I'm going to actually has like, will give you free Wi-Fi, because then I can actually get on the internet, because otherwise I'll be running up a massive phone bill and my dad will be sending me really angry phone calls. Yes, my dad still pays my phone bill, because he has since I was like 12, because he used to work for he still works for a mobile, like a phone company, but he's worked for various mobile phone companies, which means he just negotiates, basically like just negotiates the best kind of deals and stuff. So at some point I will stop paying my own phone bill, but it is not this day. So So yeah, because if I end up using my phone in France, the roaming costs, and if I try and use 3G over there, oh my god, it's going to cost a fortune. So yes, I might not be able to post Instagram. I will like take loads of photos of what I'm knitting to then like latergram when I get back, unless I get Wi-Fi access, in which case you might get to see them. That'd be good, because I'm going to need stuff to keep me entertained, because otherwise I don't want to take too many books, because otherwise my case is going to weigh a ton. I mean, the case could be half empty anyway, because my clothes are not going to, for a week, are not going to take up that much space. But what's going to take up the space is all of the bloody, like, language stuff I have to take, like all the books and things for my language course, because I'm going to need, I'm going to grab you for a minute one of the dictionaries that I won't be taking. I won't take them. This is one of my dictionaries I have for my language studies. Ooh, let's not fall off. Let's balance it on my hand like a platter. This here is the Oxford Hachette French Dictionary. This is like the complete uber one. This is the biggest one you can get. This is basically £35 worth of dictionary, and it weighs a ton. I mean, just look at that. That is so beastly. And I have an exact, I have a Spanish one of the exact same size. I bought both, but I had to buy both of these before I went to uni. So can you imagine lugging a box, or lugging a suitcase with that in? That's ridiculous. That weighs more than somebody's, like, 1-year-old child. So I'm not taking that dictionary, but I have sort of, you can sort of see here, I have, these are all my smaller language books. So I have, like, that one. That is going to be the dictionary I take with me. It's not going to be the most comprehensive one, but it's going to be at least portable. And then I've got various other bits and bobs and stuff, so I've got to take my grammar book, because I'm sure grammar is going to be covered, and I've not actually had, like, actual proper language teaching for so long. I'm vaguely terrified, because I've been trying to sort of teach myself for like 2-something odd years, and I'm not good at teaching myself language stuff. I could really do with somebody, like, actually, like, explain things to me rather than me trying to puddle it out. It's almost as, like, although, Sarah, confuzzle is a word. I do use that word quite often. I always think it's like confused and puzzled. So I just said puddled, so I'm kind of like puzzling and muddling. Yeah, so I puddled my way through. I love confuzzle. Confuzzle is such an amazing word. I do use that word quite often. But yes, confuzzling my way through Open University French. It's really terrifying, because I'm not very good at, I'm a terrible student, as you might imagine, because I'm sat procrastinating. I learnt to knit to procrastinate my uni assignments because I didn't like it. So it's like, I've got 2 more left. It's kind of weird now. I'm now to the point where I've done more. I'm past the halfway mark of my assignments. I now have only 4 left, and I've done 6. So that's good. That's always good. So yes, I have now 2 assignments left for each course. Oh dear. But only one was due in March, so maybe if I can get, like, I've got 1 French due in March, and but then my other writing one's due at the start of April. So I could do with perhaps getting my other writing one done before the end of March. We'll have to see. But I should probably go, because this is going to get, otherwise I'm going to just ramble, and it'll make no sense. And then when I come back to watch it and, like, make notes and, I don't know, put some kind of show notes together, it's just going to be a mess. So yes, I might go, I might get in the shower, and then I need to get packing done, because I have packing to do. And ironing, I need to do some more ironing, so my boyfriend has clothes for next week, because I ironed most of my stuff and didn't really touch his. So yes, better go do that, because otherwise I am a bad girlfriend. Although I'm not one of those people that, as my mother keeps saying, I should have the dinner ready for when he gets home. It's like, most of the time there's not stuff in the fridge for us to actually cook. We kind of decide when we get here, and it's also like, what if he's late? What if then stuff gets burnt? Then I'm gonna look like a real sad homemaker. Other people who do get their sort of other half's dinner on the table for when they get home from work are sad or any way, but it's just, I can't bring myself to do that. I don't know, because I'm a bad cook, I'm a lazy cook, real lazy cook. And I've had lunches of just bread and butter for some of last week, because I'm that terrible. But anyway, I'm going to, let's wrap this up. So yeah, there was all of one project, some pretty yarns, and thank yous to people subscribed. That's always great. I'm like 32 subscribers. I should discount one of those. I should really discount 2 of those, because one of them is my other channel, one of them is my sister, so she's like kind of obliged to follow me, otherwise... Well, she's not. The fact that she's subscribed to this channel is a remarkable thing anyway, since she laughs at my knitting. But yes, thank you for sticking with me for 4 whole episodes, and also for 35 minutes of this one. And hopefully I shall... I'm probably not going to end up getting any stash stuff. Hopefully by the time I get back though, the sort of knitting kit box thing that I ordered will actually have turned up from God knows where, and so I'll have that to show. But I probably won't have any stash, because I'm nowhere near any yarn stores in France. It makes me really sad. And I won't have any time while I'm in Paris to actually to go and find one. But maybe there are 2 yarn stores around the area, so maybe I shall have to go look soon at those and see what I can find in there. But yes, until next time, I shall wish you happy knitting, and I shall see you soon. Twiddles.